Achieved with CryEngine.
Okay, welcome here. I've got a match day in Division D. This is between Simple Players on Team 1 and KDCM 2. There's a longer name there, but we'll just keep it short. It's the second team for KDCM's unit. Both of these teams are coming off of a 0-5 match on their first week, so they're looking for their first drop win and their first match win. And the Simple Players is a team I'm not very familiar with. They are Eastern European, I believe. I'm guessing Russian based off the tags, but I don't know the players. I think it's a new team, but it might be veteran players. I just don't recognize the names. KDCM, on the other hand, some of the player names I recognize, some of them I do not. Neil Diamond, I believe, was playing with KDCM's A team in the past. So just to run it over, this is Inner Sphere Coalition. It's the 5th season, and we are playing on River City. Game mode is Conquest, but with only 3 caps active, and it is a 250-ton drop limit. Looks like we're launching. Team 1 has 240 tons, Team 2 has the full maximum of 250 tons. Okay, just getting in here on the match. Probably take a minute for the teams to load in. Okay, there we go. It's starting off. So running through the blue team first, we have a Locust 1E, that's an energy variant, and a Wolfhound Grinner. ECM Wolfhound, 5 medium pulse. Wolfhounds, they're not really meta at the moment, but they're still fairly popular here in ISC due to the IS only limitation for, if I can get that build. Yeah, only IS mechs allowed for the Inner Sphere Coalition tournament, so you start seeing some deeper picks, also thanks to the mech limit, 9 medium lasers on that Hunchback. So teams are only allowed to use 3 of a chassis throughout the entirety of the match, and that leads to some secondary mechs or even tertiary mech decision pickups. You start to see a little bit off meta sometimes, particularly in the lower divisions, but also in the higher divisions. And we have a fight here at the cap already, as well, both teams basically brought Brawl. There's mostly medium lasers on Simple Players, Team 1 blue side, but they do have some SRMs mixed in with the Contero. KDCM is pure Brawl. They're just going straight in. Lots of machine guns. Those Javelins, the Spiders, going to be machine guns. They're picking out the Hunchback as their primary target. He's going to get legged and go down right shortly here. They're backing it up with Crusaders using small lasers or small pulse. I haven't checked the builds. But plenty of machine guns. 4 machine gun mechs here between the 3 Javelins and the Spider 5K. And big firepower on the Crusaders. They definitely are the more aggressive build and team here. One of the Javelins is running around at 40%, but he's not quite legged yet. Probably about to die any second now. Just a very chaotic fight here, but it's definitely going in the way of KDCM. Right off the hop, just full W right into the opposing team. Those Crusaders are quite fast as well. They might be running, well, I know they're going to be XL engines with that speed. Yeah, 14 small pulse lasers on those, at least the one Centurion. Sorry, one Crusader. Crusader, not Centurions. Wow. So KDCM comes out with a decisive win here. Neil Diamond's at 50%. But he's not actually legged, so hard to say exactly how far from dead he is. Actually looks a little like maybe some overheating damage there. How would you overheat in that mech? So no, that's got to be rear torso damage. So decisive win for KDCM. That drop did not take any time whatsoever. Just full WQ right across the map from spawn, across Theta, and yeah, very straightforward. So with that drop, KDCM picks up their first win of Innersphere 5, running through the damage quick. Actually, decent damage coming out of simple players. I wasn't expecting to have anyone pulling, 300. I thought they might have multiple players with less than 100 damage, but they did put out the damage. It's just that KDCM, a little bit better focus fire, definitely the more aggressive attacking team, which makes it easier to focus fire. Top damage out of FLDR with 2 kills, 400 damage, 340 damage with 2 kills with the Crusaders, 6T, and then pair of javelins each picked up 2 kills, which the heavy machine guns that they're running pick up kills on open components very, very rapidly. Very good cleanup mech. And we're moving on to drop 2.
Hey Therox, how are you going?
Oh hey, I'm actually streaming at the moment.
Would you like me to co-cast with you?
Sure. I'll get you, I'll ask for a lobby invite for you. Okay, I've got you set up. You should be coming through on the stream.
Yep, and I'm in lobby now too. Great. Ooh, their view mode is on both. That needs to be first person only.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not running the lobby. I figured it's a little bit too much for me to handle along with running a stream. I sent you a link for lobby strats if you want to run through that.
I'm just telling him to put the view mode as first person only.
Yep.
Yeah, no, usually it's best you have your main caster who's streaming, and then the co-caster runs the lobby. But obviously, if you have no co-caster, it's a good option to get one of the teams to run it for you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the first drop. How did that go?
The first drop, it was a pretty clean sweep by KDCM. They just ran across Theta with heavy machine guns and a couple Crusaders, so just W'd right from spawn right in, and kind of just picked off the legs in rapid fashion there. Very aggressive, but it's what you'd expect from KDCM. Very.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah, 3 javelins, 2 Crusaders, and the Spider. Yeah.
Yeah. KDCM's known for brawling, for aggressive strategies. So I was just recapping that week 1, both of these teams they got 0-5 in their matches, so they haven't picked up a match win until KDCM picked up their first drop win today here in that first drop. So both these teams are looking for their first match win. Obviously, only one of them is going to get it. So we are moving on to Vitric Station as the next map. The tonnage is going up for both teams. They are now going to be at 360 tons as their maximum. And there's definitely some organization from simple players. They are running through these drop decks rapidly. They're definitely organized here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether KDCM decide to push again, or whether they go for a bit more trade, a bit more mid range.
Yeah, it'd
On
be
this
interesting.
on this particular map, there's a lot of different strategies you can use, I feel. So
Yeah, I would guess that KDCM is likely going to do an aggressive push on Vitric Station, probably on the high ground, just because the at 360 tons it's still quite possible to run a drop deck that is aggressive and fast. Once you hit the higher tonnage, the 420 and drops to 4 and 5, it's a little bit harder to find the fast aggressive mechs. But they have used up one of their Crusaders so far, so they only have one Crusader remaining.
they use 2 Crusaders, yeah.
Yeah.
And they used
so-
all their javelins as well, which is, I think, they're some of the best heavy machine gun mechs you can have.
Yeah, they used up all 3 javelins, supplemented with one of the spiders, so they could run a pair of spiders as a supplement there, or we could see something a little bit different. But being KDCM, I expect that they're going to keep it aggressive.
Yeah, there's also the Firestarter heroes. Both the heroes can run 4 heavy machine guns. Haven't seen too many of them. I think the restriction on hero mechs is really sort of, putting
Ye-
a damper on that potential there.
Yeah, 1 hero per drop, so you can't clump together those fire starters quite the same way as you can run a triple javelin.
Not to mention probably the SPL Firestarter's extremely good anyway. You might just be more tempted to run that regardless.
Definitely.
Looks like we're getting in, starting up.
Just waiting for the teams to load in before I start doing camera movement.
I've always liked the aesthetics of this map.
Yeah, this is actually my favorite faction play map, Vitric Forge, I believe it is.
Forge, yeah.
It's a very nice looking map. I like the way the buildings kind of also. This one there, it's a little bit different, more straightforward, but you get a mix of strats that are available, both brawl and a little bit of mid range, maybe even some long range. I'm looking at KDCM dropping in here as the red team. We've got a Mauler. It's a hero, 100 tonner, the Alpha, I believe it is. So that is a mixed range DPS with a pair of light PPCs. Warhammer 6R AC10 light PPC, so they are not going with the Gauss hammers, but they have a pair of those mid-range AC10 light PPC mechs. Good sustained DPS coming out of that. And then they've got triple Vulcans, and I believe these are probably going to be, yeah, snub-nose PPC with light machine guns.
Light machine guns, are they?
On at least 2 of them, it's light machine guns, yeah.
Yeah, all 3 have light machine guns, yeah. On the other side, we have an interesting mix. Got a medium pulse crab, SRM stubnose quick draw, medium pulse SRM Kintaro, dual LB20 catapult, 5 LBX5, 5 medium laser annihilator 1A. So a lot of DPS there for sure. But an interesting mix. They've gone with like sort of one of each. And they've got an urban mech. I missed that one. Where's the Urby?
Irby went down low to cap. I'm guessing it's going to be.
I know he's come back up again now.
It's probably snub-nose PPC, I guess.
It's 4 medium pulse lasers and 1 stub-nose PPC.
Okay, interesting build. So they've got. It's mostly mid-range, but they have SRMs mixed in there, so they're going to want to brawl. And KDCM definitely has a range advantage here with the light PPCs and AC10s. And they're setting up top with a receive type position. KDCM has also taken cap advantage. Not a big factor in the first drop, but it's more of a concern in the second drop.
Look at FDLR. Look, have you seen his position in the Marauder AL?
Oh yeah, he's taken a
nice
side
spot.
cap, a side position here.
Yeah, like right up the top. So he's definitely predicting a brawl push from there.
You can
It's
see
very
down to
far
Theta
away.
from that position as well.
Yeah, they're getting a bit of damage on the crab. He's trying to take Theta.
KDCM's got an ambush waiting here. I doubt it's been spotted. All 3 javelins are just waiting to jump somebody on Theta.
Yeah, if these Vulcans push now, I think they'll
Yep,
just
they're
kill these
going right
mechs.
now.
Yeah. It's well surprised with light machine guns. I would have thought regular machine guns or even heavies might have been better for this particular drop.
Yeah,
But they probably want the speed with the engine.
Ooh, Annihilator's dropped down here. These Vulcans might need to back off now.
Yeah, one of them took a decent chunk of damage there. He's got red legs.
Yeah, nothing open, but I don't know, percentages are still fairly even here. That ambush did not succeed at getting a kill, but they also did not lose anyone. And they have now drawn simple players down to the low ground.
FTLR is still getting shots in, but not that many. They're all sort of hiding from him now on this angle, and there's not much you can do about it. The Warhammers can walk up on the right and shoot down at them to get a crossfire. I wonder if they'll do that. Raman's getting some shots, pot shots through the center here.
Simple players are moving their crab out. Is he scouting? Because it doesn't look like a push.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, they're making a push now. The crab was just leaning out ahead.
He was going forward. They've got the Warhammers above. I don't think they have too much that can actually jump up and deal with the Warhammers.
Yeah, the Marauder's not going to have this angle.
Yeah, they got the quick draw, but I could tell by the angle of his jump jets, he doesn't have enough jump jets to reach the top from the bottom either, so he just won't be able to get up. The catapult has LB20s. No, he's decided to go below as well. He can't take the 2 Warhammers, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's wise them pushing this right side. They're going to push right into FDLR's shot.
Pushing around on the left side would have been a better call here, but they're making the move. Percentages are rapidly dropping in the face of that Marauder 2. The Annihilator's probably half by now. He's at 50%.
Now the Annihilator got an awesome shot. Does double leg that Vulcan really well.
So they pick up the first kill, but they're...
He's not halved. The Annihilator's 44%, but he's only lost an arm. That's it. He might get halved now.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
Nope, still not halved. You've still got all his LBX got crit out though.
Yeah.
That's 2. They picked up another Vulcan, so they're doing well chasing these Vulcans down. Did he get ambushed by the catapult?
It looks like it to me, yes. The catapult came around the opposite side, a little bit unexpected. Marauders dropped down and was pushing up.
The crab got rear torsoed by the Warhammer dropping down, I think. They should push this Warhammer. Just push him.
Looks like the Annihilator's about to go down here, 20%.
He's got 2 medium lasers left. Yeah, FTLR's dropped down, and he's pretty fresh.
Yeah, that Marauder's going to be...
The Vulcan's almost legged. Adam's doing a good job hiding in the corner here, away from the Marauder, but now the Marauder's pushing up, getting some nice shots.
The percentage, the kills are
There's
even.
There's 2 battles on the motor. One of the Warhammers is running away, and he's pretty quick. He's actually getting away. They're shooting his legs. The catapult is pretty hurt, but he should be able to do some good work. Yeah, the Warhammer's legged. Raman's almost legged.
Yeah, those LB20s, one shot would take him out, but he's got cover for his legs.
Yeah, no, the Irby cleaned him up. It's very close. I have a feeling they're going to struggle a lot to beat FDLR in that Marauder. He's very fresh. His legs are getting orange armor, but they've got a lot of HP on those legs.
It's definitely
Neil Diamond in the Warhammer is extremely hurt.
Yeah,
he's almost double legged and he's open orange CT.
Yeah, it has to be the Marauder that carries this, and he has the health to do it. Quintero's coming out here, regrouping with the team. The percentages are low. They do have a kill lead, and they still have a lot of weaponry and their legs. So, I mean, the catapult's 50%, but he still has both of his weapons, and he still has all of his armor, a little bit remaining on every torso. So these are low percentages, but they're somewhat healthy still. Considering the percentages, the mechs do not look in terrible shape.
This could easily go either way still. It's quite close.
And I'm going to bring up cap lead here. It is 2 caps to 1, and they do have 330 caps for simple players. They could potentially try to pull off a cap win here. They do have more speed, with the exception of the Vulcan here. And the Vulcan is
Here's an opportunity. Look, there's an opportunity coming up. The Vulcan is running to Cap Sigma, and the Marauder has gone up alone, and the Warhammer's trailing behind. They can pick this Warhammer here if they're fast enough, and then they can gang up on the Marauder on the top level without the Vulcan there to help them.
Marauder's getting into position to shoot down, though, so this is going to be... I don't know if he has the sight lines or not.
As long as they stay out of that sight line and they make a move now, they can do something with this. They should recognize they need to push now that Sigma's going. If the Marauder falls, is he going to fall down? No, not yet. They need to get up there and kill these mechs before the Vulcan comes. It's almost too late now. They had that opportunity where they could have done something.
Yeah,
the Marauder's cleaning them up.
There's no UAVs up, so the intel might be a little bit lacking.
That Quintero though was by far the weakest. He only had a couple of medium pulse left. Oh look, now the Marauder's getting shots on the Irby. Yeah, this is...
Yeah, the cap is kind of working as a bit of a bait.
Yeah, they I know you said they could have played the cap game. In practice, it's extremely difficult on a map like Vitric on this game mode.
Yeah.
There's only 3 cap on a small map. It's is he got any weapons left? He's got 3 SRM6 left. The Vulcan's almost legged, so he could still do work here.
Now the Quintero and
Good tanking.
sorry,
He
the
might not have
quick
any
draw
ammo
could
left.
be out of ammo.
Yeah, he's not shooting. Oh no, he has ammo. He shot. Got a nice shot in the legs. Yeah.
Urban Mech gets picked
Warhammer
off.
got the Irby.
Yeah, the quick draw is going to go
Need to
down to
finish
his
this
machine
Vulcan.
guns any second now.
Finished the Vulcan. That got a nice back shot on him, but only 1 left. Not. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, the Marauder's just too healthy.
Yeah.
The push, it looked okay. Maybe if they'd gone the other direction where the Marauder couldn't shoot them, it would have worked out better. But I mean, the Marauder is a very, very tanky mech. Has a lot of armor structure quirks. And then this particular variant has very strong DPS with the ultra autocannons. And
I'm
the
gonna guess
KDCM
FDLR would have done 1,000 damage.
yeah, the KDCM had the range advantage, so it definitely was on simple players to try and find a push angle in. They did quite well. I mean, this drop is close.
Oh, it was super close. The Warhammer's 1 touch legged. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there you go. 11,080 damage for that Marauder.
Very nicely done by FLDR. 3 kills to go with it.
Yeah.
One of the Vulcans is under 100 damage, another has a 100. So you definitely saw that they got a little bit of some picks on the Vulcans a little bit early. But damage spread pretty decent out of simple players for the most part. Catapult picking up 2 kills with 400 damage out of Bar Melee. Just in the end, the Marauder's just a little bit too strong to, particularly with that position that he had early on. It definitely was difficult to push that.
I think literally just 1 heavy machine gun mech would have made a huge difference because it could have jumped up. Heavy machine gun mech could have jumped on that Marauder.
Maybe those push angles are pretty covered from that Marauder's position though, so it'd be hard to get in there unseen.
No, it jumped down fairly early. Once they went underneath, it was down there.
Right, yeah, after it dropped, yes.
There would have been opportunities as well, and it would have been regardless. Such a mech would have been a lot more flexible. The Irby mech was a bit slow. Could have got a lot more picks quickly, more quickly.
Yep.
Yeah. They need to switch sides now, don't they?
Yeah, teams need to switch sides. I need to switch the logo sides.
He's doing it now. Oh, he's doing it the slow way. For anyone watching who doesn't know, you can click a player on team 1 and put them over a player on team 2, and it'll switch the players. So rather than put them into an empty space, you can do it much more quickly by doing that. I mean, I wish we should have a button that switch teams, right? Seems so basic. We're in 2023. We'd have a button to switch lobby teams, but
yeah, it's
oh well.
Hopefully someday. I'd also like to see the faction play maps and game modes available in private lobby as well. I think you could do some interesting things with that.
Well, yeah, the main thing I asked when Matt gave me a brief of the event queue when they were developing it. The very first thing I asked him, I said, "Can you please put all the event queue functionality in the private lobbies?" Like, that'd be cool. Imagine that. Imagine all this stuff they can do in the event queue. We could just do in private lobbies.
Oh, that would have been. I don't know if you remember, but there was a league that tried to do a bit more simulation of a game mode as a league play, but not necessarily competitive. What was it called again? I forget it, but it was about controlling planets and manufacturing mechs and all that.
NBT.
Yeah, NBT, Net Battletech, right.
Net Battletech. That's a very old league. That existed before MWO was even a thing.
Yeah, I played a little bit of one of the final kick of the can there for it in MWO.
I was playing as well, yeah.
And it would have been interesting if they could have had access to the faction play maps for that, and maybe manipulate gravity as well. If you had a map with a match
Yeah,
with
different
lower
gravity and
gravity
such,
or
yeah.
higher gravity, just to change things up on the maps. I mean, for this league, it'd be nice to be able to turn off some cap points. That would be a great functionality to actually only have literally 3 caps on the map instead of the...
Yeah, they only spawn in, right? So then you don't
Yeah,
have to worry about it. Yeah.
you don't have to worry about somebody accidentally taking a cap.
Mm.
I had that happen in a match I was casting yesterday where somebody stepped on the wrong cap.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it has in the past brought up some fun little moments where someone's capped the wrong cap, but then the other team's won, and then the other ones have to hide. It's like a hide and seek type of weird thing. That's been a bit fun. A few of those in the past. I remember one. I can't remember what it was. I think it was an Oceanic team. And they had like a ECM they had a very small, like a 20-ton locust or something, and they were hiding at a mining collective, and the other team just could not find it.
Yeah. I haven't been a part of a match where the wrong cap really made a big difference myself personally, but it's one of those things you're continually keeping in mind not to step on the wrong cap, or there's certain firing positions that you sometimes want to take, but then it's too close to a cap point. You just don't want to risk it.
Mm. So we've switched sides. KDCM are ready again. I wonder if they can do a similar drop deck. They could bring, like, for example, I don't know, assassins. Bring one Warhammer. I'm surprised they didn't bring a bit more. I don't know. They're sort of using all their mechs at the same time, aren't they?
Yeah,
I suppose
so
they could continue along with that.
they've
idea.
used all the Vulcans, so maybe it is 3 assassins coming on the next drop here from KDCM. I'm not really sure what they're going to do.
I wonder if they'll run an anchor mech again, like out wide.
Yeah, they could definitely run it back. They can run that Marauder Alpha a second time. They've only used up the one. So they could still bring that, just change the Vulcans over, change up the Warhammers a little bit. I'm not sure what you'd supplement the Warhammers with, but maybe Roughneck or Grasshopper with mid-range Vomit isn't quite the same DPS as the AC-10 Warhammer, but it's an option.
There's a lot of, I mean, there's also things like Jaeger mechs.
Yeah, I kind of forget those exist,
yeah.
but they do exist. You could bring them. There is
a Jaeger mech
ISC5.
S, for example, will have more DPS than those Warhammer 6Rs they brought.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the Roughneck Hero, but that would mean you wouldn't be able to bring that particular Marauder again.
That's the one hero per drop limit.
Well, maybe they'll switch it completely up and go the push deck now.
Yeah, bring out the Chargers, Assassins, and something else to keep that tonnage down. I guess it'd be another heavy or medium. They do have one Crusader left. They could burn that, but here maybe that tonnage works out. I haven't done the math.
Catapult A1s can be very strong as well. SRM Brawlers.
So what we're seeing out of Simple Players is a little bit more of a mixed drop deck. They don't have the uniformity of their composition the same way that KDCM does. So I think we're probably going to continue to see that from them, just based off what I've seen, just kind of a more of a mid-range mix of different mechs.
Yeah. I think that's a bit showing with that KDCM is being led by some comp veterans, whereas Simple Players, some of them have certainly played comp in the past, but it has been a long time. It's been, for them, I think the last time they played comp properly was in 2019. So you do often see like interesting differences like that from teams with a bit more experience compared to ones that aren't. And as well, KDCM have they're a second team. So there's the KDCM first team up in Div A. So they can very easily borrow from the Div A strats and drop decks as well.
Yep.
Which can make it another difference again. But it will be interesting. I mean, that was a very close match. So I'm hoping that Simple Players pick up a couple of drop wins here and make it a bit closer to going towards the end. We'll have to see, though.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could pick up some match wins or drop wins here today, even if they don't pick up the match win. Currently, it's 2-0 for KDCM. We're going into drop 3. Teams have switched sides, but it is against, once again, on Vitric Station, 360-ton drop limit.
Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, so Simple players have, again, another mix. They've got another Urbimech. I wonder if these are a lot of these are the exact same. I think they've got almost the exact same drop deck.
It does look like it. The Hunchback's new. That is their third Hunchback used up.
Yeah.
And
No, it's an
they're bringing...
IV4. It's an IV4, so it's got MRM30s on the IV4. It's
Yeah.
got regular AC5s now on the Annihilator 1A. LB20, same catapult. The Hunchback 4P is 9 medium lasers. The Kintaro is the same build, 3 SRM6, 4 medium pulse. And the Irby is the same Irby. Yep. What do you
Now,
have on the
the
other side?
Annihilator build did change. It was LBX5s before, now it is AC5, so they might have done a mech lab adjustment there.
Exactly, yeah. Look, it's a push. KDCM's got a push.
So KDCM is bringing
Hub-nosed
Hellspawns,
SRMs.
and they do have 2 Dragons. Dragons are going to be Snub-Nose PPC, Quad Snub-Nose PPC.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very aggressive here. The Cataphract triple LBX10, that is a bit of an interesting pick. That is their hero mech for the... And the Charger variant, they are not going with the small lasers. They're going with the mini
is
Atlas.
very strong. It's got a lot of quirks. Nice burn there from the Hunchback, completely uncontested. Is he going to peek again? He is. The quick draw hit a few shots.
Push.
The Annihilator's in a good position. Look at the Annihilator.
Yeah, he's
in a
backing
great
up
position.
there. He needs to keep
the Dragon's
backing up.
almost legged. Wave the Ferrets. He's done. Yep.
That's the thing about those Dragons. Their legs are fairly large, pretty easy to pick off.
Now the Charger's going down.
Charger's gotten to range,
Annihilator
though. He is
Charger
leg.
here.
If he can shield that
He's
leg...
He's shielding it? Nah.
Okay,
No
the
way.
Annihilator's open CT, though, 60%, but he's put out a lot of damage at this point.
He's going to go down now, the Annihilator, if Ramen hits him properly. Ramen's almost double-legged and rear-torsoed as well.
That Annihilator's putting in work.
Yeah, the Annihilator is farming.
Master's dropped when the Annihilator, he is low ground now.
Yeah. He
So
was
the
in an
rest...
amazing position to receive that push.
Yeah, this is going the way of simple players, but they should be dropping right now in order to help out their Annihilator in the basement. They don't want to be getting into these isolated fights up top.
This Urban Mech's going to get the Dragon here too.
Yeah, Dragon's got a covey there, but where he's tucked in.
Yeah,
but
it should be. He's one more hit. He's super hurt with that leg.
Urban Mech's leaving him for now.
Still pretty close.
I think
How's
the Urban
this?
Mech should
The
be dropping
Hellspawn's
here.
almost
He's
legged.
got the Hellspawn coming after him.
He legged the Hellspawn. Oh, is this the strike? I was about to say the strike's going to kill a Dragon. It did.
Yeah, so it's a 1v1 between a legged Hellspawn and an Urban Mech at 50%.
Nah, he's got him.
And they both go down self-destruct.
Yeah. No, great receive. I want to see how much this Annihilator did. The Annihilator carried definitely on that push. He was in a great position. Destroyed him. And yeah, so simple players first win. First drop win.
First drop win of the season for simple players. Very well done.
How much damage did he? Only 450. Nice.
Yeah.
The catapult did more.
Damage isn't that high, but it's focused damage. It was picking off the legs rapidly there. So 2 kills, 450 damage coming out of Master. 500 damage out of the catapult with those LBX20s. Also picked up a kill. Damage spread pretty even for both teams. Crazy Indian Joe and a Hellspawn with the SRMs has got 500 damage, but didn't pick up a kill. Close match again. And yeah, I mean, damage spread is basically the same between the two teams, but one team's picking off the legs, the other team didn't quite have the focus fire there with the SRMs and MRMs the same way as the AC5s and medium lasers can focus fire. So now our match is at 2-1 in favor of KDCM.
We're going into Frozen City. I wonder if we're going to see the blue lightsabers come out in force, or if one team's going to try and do something different. Very heavy drop, very open map, but a lot of cover in those cities where you can use the push up.
Yeah, so just one of the team's going to have to switch the map here. Do you want to pop up a map strat for that at all, or is it, I mean, if people have been watching, it's kind of been hashed to death at this point after 2 weeks of competitive on Frozen City.
In a sense, it's a different tonnage drop now. Makes it more swingy because in the lower, in the 360 bracket, it's much easier to push. You can still do it, definitely, and it can be very, very strong still on 420 tons, the push, but as you go up on tonnage, it's generally more difficult to be able to pull it off. Unless you want to drop a bit under tonnage, I suppose. But when you drop under tonnage, it's a very big telltale sign that you're going to be pushing.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting with the 3 cap with 15 minutes. The caps really don't matter as much, anywhere near as much. You can still get cap wins, but you have just that much more time. And if you're on if you're down 2 caps to 1, and you hold that third cap still, you don't have to panic for a long time. It gives you a lot of time to work with. Of course, you still have to be aggressive and want to take map control, want to get that cap back eventually. But if you're winning the trades, even if you're down, you can keep rolling with it basically. Keep trading another 5 minutes, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, so just to run through the map here quick, Theta is the key cornerstone if you are trying to do caps. Either taking or denying Theta is a pretty big deal on this map. You try to either rush it early or whichever team manages to get it will probably be able to hold it using the large lasers to just sweep whoever goes for it, assuming teams attempt to play range. There's some good brawl push paths that the red team can take, either low ground or through the 7 line in the upper city, assuming that Team 1, of course, takes those high ground trading positions. What we've been seeing from some of the matches that I've played and watched is that Echo 4 grid appears to be maybe the keystone of this particular map at this tonnage. Either team has access to try and cross over from Team 1 into that position or push into it as Team 2. Gives some decent positions to get a secondary angle onto the Team 1 trading positions. And it also gives control over Kappa if Team 1 were to take it. The Kappa cap, it's a little bit outside of combat zone, but if you can control it, it has it's an easier cap to take or make control of than something like Theta or Epsilon even. But it is quite a distance off to the side, so you have to know that you're not getting pushed before you go for that cap, I feel. So
Yeah,
it's
Echo 4 is strong, definitely.
yeah.
And like you said, it can actually develop into Team 1 getting a 3 cap and being able to hold it reasonably well.
Yeah, that Echo 4 keystone, I think that's where the match is frequently decided when teams are playing a range strat. But you can definitely brawl on this map. Both teams can brawl. There are pathing that can be used to try and minimize the incoming fire or even the ability of the opposing team to spot it coming in.
Yeah. And Team 1 can brawl quite easily too. Team 1 can literally just send it straight down the hill, like straight over Theta. And then if the enemy team is identified as being long range, they just swing either side of the canyon. And there are lots of spots where they can avoid fire around that part.
Yeah, the buildings can provide a fair bit of cover when you're closing in that close range. So a lot of options available here. KDCM likes to brawl. They might just make a brawl push here. They are Team 2 for the first drop.
Team 1, aren't they, KDCM?
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Yeah, they are Team 1 for the first drop.
They only switched twice. Yeah, they've
Right.
actually set up Bravo and Alpha from Team 1, which is the further back. But that could mean they want to push the Echo 7 as well. So they could be hiding their mechs they have, because their Alpha spawn's very far back. If you put a lot of mechs in Alpha spawn, it's sort of, to me, it can be a bit strange because they take longer to get to trading positions often. Unless they want to really swing and have a big presence out towards Epsilon side.
Yeah, we're loading in here. Both teams took the maximum tonnage, 420 tons.
So that's another point from KDCM spawns. You know they're not going to be very interested at the start from Echo 4 because they're spawning on the other side completely away from it. Another way you can do this from Team 1 is you can push down the 7 line, but not to push, but just to put pressure on the traders, and you can sort of flip the match the other way, so it's east to west rather than north to south. But we'll have to see.
Okay, teams are coming in here. I'm going to be looking at Team 1, which is KDCM. They have a couple fire starters and stalkers and corsairs, so they are going trade on this. It's going to be ER large on the stalkers, and it's going to be Gauss ER large on the corsair.
Light PPC fire starters, small lasers. Simple Players again has a eclectic bunch. They got a Flea 20 with 5 small pulse. They have a light Gauss ER PPC Warhammer 6R. A 4 ER large laser Battlemaster. That's an interesting option. Why 4? 6 ER large Boar's Head, Atlas Boar's Head. It's got a lot of DPS on that one for a long range mech. 3 ER PPC Awesome 9M, moving pretty quick. And a 3 ER PPC Thunderbolt as well. And they're moving very aggressively.
The Flea's taking a 1v2 on Theta here. That is a mistake. He needs to bail out.
Unless he's trying to bait them for his team to come down and attack them, which it looks like he is.
It's a risky strat, and he's the only light on the team. He's pulling out now.
I think it's a mistake, definitely. Yeah. I think it's a mistake, but I presume that was his intention, to bait them into staying longer, but then his team really didn't capitalize on it enough.
The Flea got out. He hasn't taken any severe damage.
Yeah, his orange armor, though, it's not a good start, is it?
So we're seeing ER peeps versus ER large lasers and Gauss. So that is... who has the advantage there? ER large are a little bit easier to hit with.
Yeah, I think both teams can make it work, basically. I think the Awesome's going to struggle against the Stalkers simply because the Stalkers have much better hitboxes compared to the Awesome. The Awesome's a big CT. I think you'll see it getting CT cored pretty fast, but he does look like he's getting some shots off.
So KDCM
neither team has taken up the side caps either. They're getting them now, but it took a while.
They're taking Epsilon, and cap is being taken on the opposing side. So we're probably just settling into a long trading fight here, and so far it looks like KDCM has a slight advantage in percentages. Although
that Atlas has taken some decent CT damage already.
Yeah, one of the KDCM stalkers' open side torso took a PPC hit. So 76%, but with an open side torso, that would be... and I think one of the ER larges is crit on that already.
Yes, it was. He had 6 ER large. Yeah, so it was crit out. Another PPC shot on that, he'll be halved.
I'm seeing a fair bit of AMS, and I've seen that with other teams yet too on this particular drop, where they have AMS spread out on some of their mechs. And I have not seen any team use an LRM strat yet, but teams are respecting the possibility.
Yeah, well, what you can do, especially this higher tonnage, is you can do a push strat and just have one LRM mech floating, like in the back. So that can be really hard to deal with because you've got 5 brawlers coming up, but then you just got an LRM shooting constantly the entire time as they approach as well. So I suppose they're preparing for that.
Battlemaster is open head, CT, and side torso out of Volunteer. And the Flea is down to 67%. Are definitely losing. The Flea took mask damage, it looks like.
A little bit, yeah. I think mass damage ticks in a similar way to overheat, the low-level overheat damage. So it could be very small amount. But yeah, simple players are definitely losing the trades here, that's for sure.
Corsair's looking pretty healthy there, nothing wounded overly much. Stalker's about to eat a big strike here on KDCM. That side torso was already open. Did not lose. Now the side torso is gone.
Yeah, no, the strike knocked it off. Yeah, so he's halved.
So that is a heavily wounded mech here, but the rest of KDCM is still looking pretty healthy, whereas simple players have a number of heavily wounded
I mean,
mechs.
it is and it isn't, because I'm presuming it's going to be a standard engine, because that's how you build most ER large stalkers. And it's halved with orange armor in the CT. So it's still very operational with 3 ER large, even though it's halved. Yeah, it basically doesn't have any
weaponry, but it's still got more than half of its health.
Yeah, and especially now you can dead side tank with the broken torso. When you shoot a broken torso like that, it has the damage transfers, but only 40% of it. So you can actually dead side tank the CT quite well as well.
Looking over here, simple players, Atlas is open CT, the Warhammer is open
Oh, the
CT
Flea's
as
going for
well.
Theta. He's getting the Stalker with 3R large is getting some shots in. He's chain firing his ER large. The Flea's trying to get an angle to take Theta. Oh, he's smoking legs. He can't quite get that angle. Yeah, that's it. You can hide there. You shouldn't be able to shoot you now.
Okay, so
He's
they're
going to
going
get
to
it
get
now,
Theta
but
probably.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think they're too injured.
Yeah, the trades are just going a little bit unfavorably. It would take too many minutes to win off of a cap here. Got the
Every
decap,
one of
but
Simple Player's mechs is open CT, and all but one of them are orange internals. There's only one with yellow internal CT, and that's Master with the Thunderbolt. The rest all have orange internals open. So they're all extremely, extremely hurt.
Flea got off of Theta with both legs, but he's at 38%.
I think he's going to get legged. Oh no, he's almost dead CT. He's orange as well, CT and torso. And he's getting shot by the Firestarter with light peeps. The
Making
Firestarter's
another
getting
try for
angled.
Theta. That's
He'll
probably his
die.
last try.
Yeah, he got it. Oh, the Firestarter is in the open. I think it's too little too late.
Firestar is
Firestarters are
60%,
pushing.
so if somebody gets a good hit on it, Flea's legged.
Yeah, the Flea will die for that. He did get Theta, but now they're going to get it straight back, I think. Or they'll die trying to protect it from these Firestarters.
I mean, the Firestarter, 54%, open CT, open leg. The second Firestarter is sitting at 69%, open side torso as well. And there are PPCs on simple players, so that could turn around.
And they've still managed to stay alive, well, just as I say, the WM6 star dies. They've managed to stay alive a fair while, but I can't imagine them beating KDCM at this point. I think even the Firestarters would have a decent chance of just running through their whole team.
Well, the Firestarters are quite wounded. It'd be a risky play. But the kills are starting to chain now.
Simple players are literally all one touch. They're cherry red CT, all three remaining ones.
Yeah,
one tap.
KDCM, the percentages look similar, but the health is not because of the location of the damage. Stalkers and Corsairs end up being fairly tanky mechs, whereas something like a Battle
I
Master
definitely agree with you with Stalker, not so much the Corsair. It's a very big CT on the Corsair.
Yeah, the Corsair's got bad hitboxes, but it has a lot of armor and structure buffs, so it depending on how well the damage is focused, it can be a rather tanky mech.
At least in Div A level, it's not tanky.
I would agree with that statement. So there's only one mech left alive here, the awesome Cherry Red halved, 2 ER peeps left. He's pulling back. So Simple Players is going to end up losing this drop here. The Firestar is going in on it, see if there's a final kill coming out here. Neither mech appears to be aware of where the other is. And the awesome goes down to some long-range fire. So KDCM takes the match. They have 3 drop wins to Simple Players' 1 drop win. But Simple Players have a chance to earn some more MC with another drop win. Just running through the damage real quick here. Firestars did not get much damage, but they did have the cap control. And the highest damage out of KDCM is going to FLDR and Stalker 5S. He's got 800 damage and 3 kills. Rest of the team's pulling around 400 apiece in their ranged traders. Looking over at Simple Players, you've got a fairly even damage spread of 400 to 500 damage across most of the traders. Warhammer's a little bit lower at the 300, was the first mech to die. And the Flea's pulling out a 70 damage. Now, on this drop, the lights were not being used for damage as much as for trying to get that cap control. But very well done from FLDR winning his trades there quite handily.
And pretty good damage numbers from Simple Players too. I think it was just a literal matter of drop deck was the main thing. Like as you said before, the Stalkers are way too tanky. And great hitboxes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the Battlemaster is a downgrade from a Stalker. Okay, now teams are switching sides, so I gotta switch the logo here before I forget.
Yeah, switch them. Last team switch. So that is the match win for KDCM. But each drop is has MC rewards and definitely the points as well for the competition. So it is still pretty important for simple players to pick up this last drop win to make sure they continue to progress well.
Okay, so they're running it back, same map, different team sides, same tonnage. KDCM has used up all of their stalkers. And so what are we going to see out of them now? Are they going to use the Battle Masters, or they have Annihilators, I believe, still, so they might go for Annihilators for trading? Do you expect them to trade again, or are you thinking they're going to try and do some sort of push? They did use one Charger earlier, but they do have Victors available.
Yeah, they've got a lot of options definitely for pushing. I'm not sure if they'll do it or not.
For simple players, they have stalkers
Simple players
left.
use their stalk. Yeah, have they used any stalkers? Simple players?
I don't believe they have.
I can't remember them ever using a stalker, right? So
No, they were using
I would hope they would
Annihilators.
bring at least some stalkers.
Yeah, so they have 3 stalkers available if I'm keeping track correctly, plus 1 Annihilator remaining for them. And I just feel like the Battle Master's a pretty serious downgrade from the stalker, as the way things currently are. So maybe they're going to bring those stalkers in the final drop.
Yeah, the Battle Master is a conventional downgrade, but it has merits over the Stalker. But you need to really work hard to use those merits.
Yeah, the mounts are quite nice on it.
Yeah, the mounts are better. So a Stalker can high ridge peak with only 4 energy. To bring up the last 2 energy to bear, it has to basically full expose. Whereas the Battle Master can high peak with 5 or 6 energy, like just the very top of it. And the Battle Master can also run a much larger engine. So if you need your trading mech to be able to reposition much quicker, then the Battle Master is the option for that. The Stalker will usually max out with a 300 engine, where you can easily get a Battle Master with a 350 up to 375 even.
Yeah, if you want to XL that Battle Master, you can put that 375 in there. And the Battle Master typically gets killed CT, so it is XL friendly in a way.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're going to stick a standard 300 in the Battle Master and then side peek or something with it, then it's definitely a downgrade over a Stalker. You have to really play into its strengths.
So Team 1 is locked in at 420 tons. KDCM is also sitting at 420 tons, probably going to lock in right shortly. Now, some of these drops have been relatively close for simple players. They aren't picking up the wins, and sometimes the kill counts don't look very close, but the percentages are relatively close. A lot of wounded mechs on KDCM for some of these drops. So we'll see what happens here, drop 5.
Both teams at 420 again. See, last drop coming in. I do hope they use some Stalkers though. I think the Stalker's incredibly good mech for this drop. We'll know in a second.
So we have simple players is bringing 1 Stalker, awesome Thunderbolt, Warhammer, the Atlas again. It's basically the same drop deck, just running it back, whereas KDCM is also playing a range trade. They've got 2 Annihilators, a Corsair, Battlemaster, and a pair of Fleas. So, have they used up? Too many
Simple Play's got
fleas.
the stalkers at least, so
Yeah,
good.
just the one though.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen 3 out of them, but yeah, they've got.
Stalker's got
See if they can
5
make it
here
work this
large.
time. I mean, they do have essentially have Simple Players have gone for 5 traders versus the 4 of KDCM, right? So they do have a trade advantage in that sense. What are the annies? Are they just ER large? Yeah.
Now
So the Battlemaster
KDCM
6 ER large and 2 5 ER large.
is pushing across to play on the same side as Simple Players. They're not playing on the side that Simple Players elected to play last time. So this is probably, it's still a range trade, but they might be playing a little bit more aggressively, pushing up. The fleas are sitting near Epsilon looking to ambush whoever comes for it, it looks like. Simple Players is sending an assault toward the Epsilon cap, though. They've elected to cross over and grab a Kappa with their flea. They should know where KDCM are by now, I would think. The Awesome is definitely backing up like he knows what's happening here. Both teams electing to ignore Theta so far.
Yeah, which is super interesting to me. I don't know why they're. I don't know what KDCM are really doing, honestly.
I mean,
They're super deep.
they're going to play to control Epsilon, I believe. Now, we do have an attempt at Theta here, and it's looking uncontested. Looks like Simple Players is going to have the cap lead.
I was about to say, but can they even? They can't even see Theta from their position. So
Oh, this is
I
playing out a
understand what's
bit
going
different
on.
than what I've seen typically.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Does KDCM expect them to do something in particular, or
I don't know.
blame
Like,
you?
I thought maybe KDCM would be pushing up aggressively, trying to
But look, Simple
close
Players
range.
are rotating. I think Simple Players think they're going to push them because look at how they've moved. They're all bunched up, ready to almost cross or receive a
I
push
mean,
or
I
something.
think it would be correct to cross right now. Control that Echo 4 grid. They've got the 2 caps between Kappa Theta. They'd be able to better support Kappa from the other side of the gap here.
Mm.
There's a little bit of trade fire going out, so I think the teams have a general idea of where each other are.
Yeah, the Awesome's getting a bit of shots on him now, a little bit of scratch. There's a strike being put on the Awesome and the Atlas. A bit of scratch damage at the moment. I'm
Now,
really confused given that like KDCM took a brawl approach basically. I suppose what they're trying to do, I suppose this is how I can make sense of it. Because the Annihilators don't have the range quirk, perhaps they're doing this to mitigate a potential range advantage from their opponent to get the Ennies within their optimal.
yeah,
Maybe that's what they've gone for.
I just don't. It looks a little like they're very stationary, KDCM, and they should be moving up more aggressively. The cap situation does mean that Simple Players has the advantage the longer this match runs.
They are TC8 Ennies though. I'm in the cockpit of FDLR right now. He's 932 meters on his ER large, which is a TC8 build. And he has single heat sinks, so it's the single heat sinks TC8 build. That's what he's running.
Simple Players is a little bit too stacked here on this one trade position. They're getting each other's ways. It's going to be very hard to win trades if they continue to trade from there. They need to send at least 1 or 2 mechs across to the other side. Battlemaster's up at the front. I would rather have the Annihilator up at the front for KDCM. The Battlemaster not the tankiest of mechs. Pretty passive play out of KDCM. Percentages are there's a wounded mech on each side, but for KDCM it's an Annihilator, so that could be quite a while before that matters.
I'm watching Master play at the moment with his ERPPC Thunderbolt. He's getting some nice trades in actually from that position. I don't know how the rest of the team's going, but he in particular just won a few trades.
Simple Players are trying to sneak a cap here with their flea. It's a high risk play. They already have the cap lead, but the KDCM's fleas didn't know he's there until he stepped on the cap, and that's whenever you step on a cap, then people are going to get that notification. Still no rotation coming out of Simple Players. They need to make that rotation before they start losing the trade. Atlas is open CT.
I mean, they're currently winning the trades, I think, aren't they?
Trades are relatively even. Atlas is open CT 60%, open orange, whereas Annihilator
It looks like
53%,
the
probably
flea's going to
similar.
be picked. Yeah, Simple Plays' flea's going to get picked. He's been jumped by the 2 fleas.
He's turning
There he
around to
goes.
fight.
Yeah,
He
he's
has
legged.
lost his leg.
No, he was trying to run away. It's just, I mean, they managed to close the distance and they're the same speed.
Yeah, so that's one light versus the 2 light situation.
Yeah.
Simple players have more traders. They do have a cap lead right now, but it's going to be harder to control that cap unless if they cross a couple of mechs and control cap a little
Oh,
bit
that Atlas
stronger.
Boss head is very open. He's one touch CT now. And that's the problem with the Atlas, funnily enough, when it comes to trading. Like, it's very easy to laze. There he goes. Yeah.
One of the awesomes, 72% with an open side torso.
The Battle Master's very hurt. He's crit CT open.
He's still the closest target. I definitely want to back that. Have the Annihilators in front of the Battlemaster in my mind. Annihilators are
Both the
moving up.
Annihilators are open CT as well.
Yeah, so
No.
hard to call it here on trades so far. The extra trading mech definitely helps out with simple players, but
I feel like they lost their advantage because they squashed themselves in the corner. The
yeah,
Warhammer is crossing over now, but it's like, it's a little bit too late. There should have been someone over there much earlier.
we have the 2 fleas looking toward going maybe through tunnel for Kappa. Definitely need 2 mechs over on the near Kappa for simple players just to have that cap
Battle
control.
Master's super open now.
Awesome is open on both side torsos. I believe that is a light engine. One of the stalkers lost an arm, I believe. Yeah, simple players lost an arm off the stalker, so it's down to 3 ER large. Warhammer's getting jumped by the fleas. He has not seen them yet. Now they're going for the rear shots. Picked off a side torso.
Yeah, he'll be not long for this world with
Yeah,
2 fleas on him.
needed 2 mechs over there so they could cover each other a little bit.
Well, if that flea was alive guarding, the flea, 1 flea can guard with the Warhammer against 2 fleas, so that could have worked. But
Yeah,
and now the fleas are going to get Kappa.
this is definitely starting to go in KDCM's way quite heavily. Simple players had the advantage for a little bit there, but after losing the flea and losing trades probably due to not spreading out early enough on their traders,
Yeah.
KDCM now has the advantage. The caps only got to 460. It does take quite a while for a 3 cap situation to accumulate. Even if you do control 2 of them, it still takes a long time to get that cap. Battlemaster is open everywhere. It's already halved. It goes down CT. So kills are very close here. Annihilator goes down. Simple players. They
Nice
have
quick kills.
the 3 traders standing up against 1 trader, but there's 2 lights on the opposing side, and these assaults are heavily wounded. So splitting them up to try and maintain the 2 cap control will be challenging.
The Stalker's pretty good still. He's still got all the armor in the CT, but he has lost an arm, and he only has 5 ER large instead of 6. The Corsair's pretty fresh.
Yeah,
He's
65%, but
he
nothing's
did a
open.
really bad trade. He immediately took a really bad trade versus that Corsair.
Still nothing open on that Corsair, though. And those Gauss rifles will hit hard at these percentages.
That's exactly what happened. He peeked the Corsair and just blapped him right in the CT. These fleas coming in should be able to clean this up very easily. He's looking for the damage readout to see if he should run in or not. Hasn't quite seen it
got
yet.
halved. The Awesome's making a move here, but
he's 1 up deep. 1 touch, yeah.
Again, it's another relatively close drop here. I mean, even on caps, it's still... I don't know if a 1 cap situation is enough here for simple players, but it was close. And one of those fleas, 68%, something's open on it. Yeah, CT's open on one of the fleas.
There he goes, yep.
But it is a KDCM win.
Yeah. Another strong win. I think the flea, when you're the sole light player, I think you mentioned this last drop, when you're the sole light on a team, against 2 other lights, you just can't be picked. Like, you have to play super conservatively and careful.
Yeah, it's very challenging to be a single light versus 2 light, having to do all the cap control and scouting by yourself, while also trying to make sure that you don't get picked off.
Yeah.
Once a team loses their lights in competitive in a Conquest match, it's often that's over in the match. Well done from both teams, though. Close game. KDCM does take the match, 4 wins to 1.
Let's have a look. Yeah, nice spread. Master doing 866 damage and 3 kills, so he did really well in that.
That was a
That
Thunderbolt
with
with
3
the
up
triple
boots.
ER peeps, yeah.
Yeah, he did really well in that. So good on him. The rest of it's just even spread. It's just that Flea getting picked, I think. So look, the simple players Flea got picked for 67 damage, and the 2 Fleas on KDSM sides did 200 damage each and got 4 kills between them.
Yeah,
So there you go. Like, it was...
The Fleas can come in and clean up those heavily wounded assaults fairly easily. The assaults just have a bit of difficulty dealing with the Fleas when they're that heavily wounded. So a bit of a cleanup squad there. But well played for both teams. Good match to watch here. And ultimately does go KDCM's way. They pick up their first match win of ISC5.
Yeah, a nice little match. Okay, well, I've got my own match in about 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
So I'm going to head off and get prepared for that.
Well, thank you for co-casting with me, Kraznopesky. For anyone
Are
watching,
you casting anymore?
I do have another cast scheduled for about 45 minutes from now. So I'm going to grab some water, be back for my next cast, and I'm going to end the stream, but thanks for watching, and I'll be back in 45 minutes, or maybe a bit less.